Quantum Wellbeing Show right here on Broadcast Team Alpha. We're so happy to have you here. We're so happy. I see you guys gathering in a chat room already. I'm Nori Love. If you don't know me, I'm your host tonight. I've been a little bit of background on me. I've been a nurse. I've been a registered nurse for 30 years. But at this point in my life, I call myself a healing artist. I've been a Reiki master for quite a long time, and I've studied the Silver's healing modality, which is new, and I do hope to be studying with our guest in the not too distant future. So let me tell you about our guest. I'm so honored and just so grateful for Dr. Darrell Wolfe to be here with us. Dr. Darrell Wolfe has many letters after his name: AC, PhD, DNM, DHS, and for over 45 years, he has been just so active and a forerunner and his experience is so vast in advanced energy medicine therapy, and not only that, but psychology. Dr. Darrell Wolfe is a medical intuitive. He is known as the Doc of Detox. Dr. Darrell Wolfe holds 2 doctorates in natural medicine, a doctorate in Indigenous medicine, and 1 doctorate in humanitarian services, DHS. And he's also certified with the Board of Integrative Medicine. He's also a professor and the director of the BraveHeart Nation World Healing and Training Movement, which is so exciting. His philosophy is based on whole body healing because the psychological rules create the biological, His teachings, trainings, and certifications have created a new paradigm, which has awoken the health industry to a totally new direction. He created the renowned New World Practitioner Certification Program and its components, the Whole Life Coach Certification, and this is incredible, the Wolfe Non-Surgical Bodywork Certification, BraveHeart Health and Healing Circle, and the pain-free, so incredibly needed right now, the pain-free pelvic restoration training program for women. This is a hot topic right now because everybody's seriously having problems. These new forms and these now form pathways for those who wish, this is so exciting, to get their doctorate, your doctorate in natural medicine and a doctorate in Indigenous medicine. Dr. Wolfe is a renowned speaker and writer. He's been featured as a guest in several health summits and highly acclaimed documentaries, including the Truth About Cancer series and the Truth About Detox. Both have been seen by millions of people around the world. He has authored best-selling books, the best-selling books, Healthy to 100, A Perfect Day, Lifestyle Guide, and the Revolutionary Wolfe Non-Surgical Bodywork Manual. Bringing it all together now, Dr. Wolfe and his team have created the most powerful online platform and library in healthcare today, providing online live pathways, platforms to other health leaders around the world. That's incredible. And it's based on the freedom of speech and inner peace for insightful, inspirational, and innovative creators to share their wellness wisdom, to teach their life-enhancing methods, and to finally come together as a BraveHeart nation. Dr. Wolfe's mission statement is based on creating a BraveHeart nation. His formula is one love, one law, which translates into unconditional love for all humans. Dr. Wolfe, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be on your show.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, thank you so much. I'm not even sure where we should start.
Anywhere.
I have so many questions. Okay. All right. So let's start with a buzzword because, our platform, the Quantum Wellbeing Show, is dedicated to raising vibration, to raising frequency, and therefore raising well-being in people, body, mind, spirit, and soul. So tell us, what really is frequency and how does it impact our life?
I will, but wouldn't it be amazing if we weren't doing it because it was the next novel thing or it was the next wake up thing? What if we were that? what if we were the program of never thinking about raising our frequency on a subconscious, unconscious level? We just did it. Well, that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That's never going to happen on this planet, because you're going to have to demand it. You got to demand it. You got to demand high vibrational food. You got to demand to be around high vibrational people. You got to demand high vibration. First of all, you have to be worthy. If you don't feel you're worthy, if you don't feel you deserve it, you're never going to have it. But understand, whether we're talking about food, drink, people, it's all about vibration. Let's talk about food first. So there isn't four food groups. There's only one. There's only one food group, and that's vibration, that's frequency. So when you look at a food, do you ask yourself, what is the frequency in the food? What are the key frequencies? And how much light is stored in there? First of all, most people can't wrap their head around it that the physical is in 1% of 1% of 1% of what we are. We come as spirit beings, light, energy, electrical, magnetic beings, okay? And the invisible creates the physical, the psychological rules the biological. And the reality is, whether you're creating health, wealth, or disease, it all depends on your belief systems, which create frequencies. Because if you really want to know about frequency, you'd have to look at it this way. The greatest gift that we have ever been granted is imagination. That's God's greatest gift. And guess what? If you're not in control of your imagination and you've given it away to a corporation or to a system or some belief system, guess what? They're going to feed off of you. And what happens is they're going to control your imagination. Remember when you were younger, everything was about imagination. That was the most beautiful time of your life. If we could reclaim our imagination, then we would reclaim our purpose, our passion, and we would quit our jobs and we'd go find what the authentic self looks like, and then we would gift the world with it, because we're all here for a purpose. But the reality is we see everything in an image. Right now, there's people that are watching your show and everybody feels differently about it, because it all depends. Does it match their beliefs, or it doesn't match their beliefs? If it's too new, their subconscious will push back. You know, if they connect to their breath, have a slight smile on their face, they'll be able to accept things differently. Why? Because the breath gives you a higher vibration. Your smiling gives you a higher vibration. So you allow higher vibrational things in. Cross your arms and then just get a little bit of a frown. And now you're going to go down and you won't allow high vibrational things. So image is everything. We see everything in an image first, okay? And then we create a thought. And after we create the thought, it creates the emotion. And if the image wasn't pleasant or negative, then guess what? The thought's negative and the emotion will be negative, and that's energy in motion. So now our movement is heading towards negative. So the reality is that if you've got emotions that are negative, then you're going to have a frequency that's a negative, and you're going to trigger low vibrating chemicals and hormones. And that's called fear, fright, flight, call it what you want. And then that'll overheat the brain, because there's no such thing as depression, just anxiety. And then guess what? Your brain has to shut down because you put the wrong frequency in it and you overfired it.
Or overfired it and then moved into what, paralysis, right? Isn't that what comes after you've been so stimulated because you're scared or having anxiety that you just freeze?
Well, you freeze, but the reality is the brain is only a computer. The brain is only smart if there's smart beliefs. It's stupid if you've got stupid beliefs. It's sick if you've got sick beliefs. Okay, so you're sick if it's got sick beliefs. You're rich if you've got rich beliefs. You're poor if you've got poverty thinking. So the brain only plays programs. It doesn't do anything else. It's just two things. The brain is a computer.